You will always have lack of clarity. You will always have those moments where you're like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Those moments don't go once you realize the path that you want to go down. You will continually question yourself. You will continually assess if this is the path for you. You may even give up on something that is actually your path. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katerina. If you are interested in getting out of the old self and entering the new self with a little bit of flair, with a little bit of astrology, then welcome to my channel. Also, just a quick reminder that today, the 31st of May, is the last day you can get 20% off your Saturn wound. Your Saturn wound is a deep dive, self-paced video course. It has a PDF workbook within that as well. It is a complete understanding of your Saturn placement through house, sign, aspects, and transit. If you're interested in understanding exactly what the course provides and how you can really work with your Saturn placement, if you keep getting stuck in these loops and patterns, and you look at Saturn and Saturn's in the house that those loops and patterns keep coming about, then this course might be for you. So everything is linked below for that. I wanted to talk about this because it's something that I am consistently dealing with, and that is moving forward without clarity. I've spoken about this before earlier this year, and even then, I still had this kind of romanticized or fantasized or anythingized view of what it would look like when I walk my path, when I get on something that's meant for me or that I'm aligned in or that feels good just in general. I thought I would 100% know, and I thought I'd wake up every day being like, yeah, this is it. And I felt like none of that shit happened. What did happen was me feeling so confused, so stuck, so lost. Yet I still kept moving forward, but because I kind of have this sense of something at the end is going to come. But once you understand your chart a bit more, you understand what might be a continuous theme and what is like a moment if it's like a transit. I'm sitting kind of in this moment of my life with a very lack of clarity. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I want it to go. But I had to catch myself the other day because I realised I was stuck in the waiting zone still. I was like, I'm not actually moving forward with any of my ideas. What if I just try one and something will happen? And then I realised I'm not trying one because I'm waiting for clarity again. And this is the loop that we can get stuck in. Even like me, who's done so much work on themselves, I still get stuck in that loop. It's this really conscious awareness that we need of what we're doing, why we're stuck, and like to continually take us out of that moment. That maybe your default is like you are scared to move forward, so you get stuck in preparing for your life to start. You can get really stuck in that waiting zone wherever Saturn is, and I speak about this in your Saturn wound, but wherever Saturn is, you can get stuck. And the waiting zone is the default. They're waiting for permission to move. They're waiting for this kind of moment, this like aha moment. Oh, this is what I meant to do, and they move forward. But like I said before in the beginning of the video, that moment doesn't always come. So I spoke about this before with Saturn in the first house. I have Saturn in the first house. So already my normal like shadow self is waiting. I wait for clarity to come before I act. That can be a very Saturn in the first house thing. Lots of other things can happen with Saturn in the first house, burnout, etc., wearing of the masks. But you've been taught from a young age, especially if you're a Capricorn rising, that that it's not safe to move forward, that there's a sense of there's this sense of responsibility when you move, and you have to be very cautious of that. So that can create a loop of you staying still, you not moving forward, you not doing anything to make your life move forward, but you don't realize this is not a shameful space. You do not realize that that is actually what you're doing. You're not aware, and you don't realize, like, it's like a glass ceiling breaks when you realize that fear has been running the show, but it's not something that you are actively aware of when you're living in that waiting zone. You just genuinely think you are not prepared enough. And there is this sense of you're waiting for something external to let you move. So that can be like a job. You get a job and then suddenly you can start earning money. But maybe you're not actually applying for all the jobs, or maybe you're not actually thinking outside the box of how you could make money. You're waiting for an opportunity to come to you rather than for you to seek the opportunity, which is really a lot of the times the only way that opportunity will come. If you put yourself out there a little bit, then the opportunities will come. This could be you're like, once I look a certain way, especially with the first house, once I look a certain way, then I'll be able to move, then I'll be able to do the thing that I want, then I'll be able to post online or travel. Once my body looks a certain way, then I can do it. That is the waiting zone. It can also be with polarity of the seventh house. You're like, once I get my stuff sorted, I'll leave this relationship. Or once I have my business and everything's sorted, then I can enter a relationship. But the relationship might better you with your business, and they might drive you to become better, but you're in the waiting zone. So therefore your business isn't starting, nor is your partnership. Okay, so I have a Saturn square. This is something that I would say in the last year, I've just started to learn it about myself and realize, like, I am a Libra sun. I was born in September, the end of September, and I have a Libra stellium, very, very tight within 1 degree, all three of them. And Saturn squares that. So the reason I bring up my square is because that square, especially because it's coming from the first house, and especially because I am a Capricorn rising, that energy brings lack of clarity. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I'm going, so I need to hold off and wait for clarity to come before I know. And that can be the tension between how you show up on a daily, how you communicate, how you move through your life, and what your, like, core self is. Like, those are my planets, versus the test of time, versus the order that you need to get there, versus the devotion, discipline, whatever word, the consistency. So when you've got that relationship in your chart, it is something that I've had to continuously consciously work with for the past year, because I most likely won't have that aha moment. I will most likely always feel tested in how I show up and what I'm meant to say. And also, I would note, because I do have Mercury retrograde. Big up to the people who have Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde seasons are the best seasons for me. If this is how you guys think, if you've got Mercury state, like, direct natally, and in day-to-day basis, how you think is during my Mercury retrograde, then I'm so jealous, because I'm constantly analysing what I say all the effing time, and there is no clarity for me. So I would say, obviously tangent, but when Mercury is retrograde, I do feel a bit more clarity than outside of the retrograde season. But I wouldn't say it's like, oh, this is it, this is what I'm meant to do, this is where I'm going. So I have to follow the little, like, tiny clues of, like, this excites me, So keep going. And the reason I'm making this video is because I think a lot of people, including myself, I needed that clarity. I wanted it. I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I was looking for. This is it. And I haven't got it. I genuinely haven't got it. I've just been following the little hints of excitement, and that has led me to here. And that's been like a 2-3 year journey of me doing that and just trying to listen to that more instead of trying to plan things, and instead of trying to plan like what that looks like, how I'll get there, whatever. I've just been trying to settle with the fact that I most likely won't have that clarity moment. I most likely will have uncertainty in where I'm heading a lot of the time. So the only way I can get more certainty, a little bit of more clarity, is by continually moving forward, continually taking action, even if I'm not sure. And the whole biggest reason I wanted to film this video, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning and I've got my coffee, but I just sat here and I was like, I feel like someone needs to hear this right now. You won't, your life won't move forward. You won't get clarity. You won't get any sort of certainty in what you're doing if you're waiting for any sort of certainty to come. You need to take action on something that you've been thinking of, whatever that may be, before the clarity even gets to you. Because if you're anything like me, the clarity won't come like you think it will. You won't have that aha moment. You won't have that moment of being like, this is what I'm meant to do. I know it. You'll just have a level of excitement. Obviously, I'm a sacral authority in human design, so that has been able to help me lead with that. I don't really know a lot about human design, but all I know is that bit, the authority bit, and that's helped me so much because that is your intuition. So knowing that my intuition is excited, when I'm excited, that's the right path. I find that like my inner compass, and that's really helped me. You won't get there if you don't start. And if you are anything like me and you get stuck in a loop of waiting for information to come from people, from an idea in your head, for confirmation, from even your charts, like if you're waiting for that, it will never come. You just have to move forward. So what I would say to you is like, deep in your belly, what are you scared of? What is something that you've wanted to do, but you're just like waiting? Do that thing. Even if it's like a little bit of it, just try it. You have to consciously, continuously tell yourself that the lack of clarity, the lack of certainty, the waiting for external things to come in order for you to have permission to move won't come. It's not something that's going to come. And once you kind of have an idea of that, it does suck, because for me it's like I still have a romanticized view of what clarity feels like. But as soon as I start something, like, when I started filming the Your Saturn Wound course, before I did it, I didn't know. I wasn't like, I literally didn't know. And I put it off for so long. I wanted to film it last year and I was putting it off because I was like, oh, I don't know yet. I'll see how it goes. And then as soon as I bloody sat down and started filming and started like working with the chart and talking about like the aspects to your natal Saturn, all that stuff, I got so excited by it. I felt like I was a teacher and I absolutely loved it. And I was thinking to myself, oh, this is clarity. Why do I keep doing this? And it's like a perpetual loop that I keep myself in. So I just wanted to say this because I don't know if you need this information. You might not have any first house Saturn placements. You might not have any Saturn square, but you might still have this feeling of like you're waiting for clarity to come before you actually start. And I'm here to tell you, don't. Just move forward and see what happens. Don't wait for clarity, because most likely that clarity that you think in your head of how clarity will feel like most likely won't feel like that, and you'll be stuck and lost and confused. So if you are interested in working with me with your Saturn placement, if you are interested in understanding it, but you want to do it in your self-paced way, you want to be able to come back to it, you have lifetime access to this Saturn wound. You have everything there to help you know what your loops are, what your patterns are within a Saturnian way, and knowing exactly like, okay, this is my default. Like I said, so my default is waiting. So I'm like, okay, this is my default. No, we're not doing that. We keep moving and clarity will come afterwards. We'll just keep going. If you're interested in knowing that for yourself, then the Your Saturn Wound is out now. It's a deep dive. It's a self-paced course. So if you want to know about your Saturn Wound, the information is linked below for that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.